crucial lifeline for many cultures, the Euphrates is undoubtedly the most significant river in the world. But recently, it has started drying up under very strange circumstances, and reports are in circulation of unearthly voices and growls coming from the riverbed. Experts are in awe, claiming this is the worst drought they've ever seen. But to some, it doesn't come as a surprise, as this has been predicted in a terrifying prophecy that seems to be coming true. And now, with strange ancient discoveries being found underneath the dried riverbed, that this is a sign of something more sinister to come. But the most concerning danger posed by this situation is not just the lack of food, water, or electricity which may occur, but something even more severe which could have an impact on the whole world. Emerging from eastern Turkey and flowing through Syria and Iraq before entering the Persian Gulf, the Euphrates is the longest river in the Middle East, serving as an important waterway for transportation and many major settlements of civilization throughout the ages. It has been mentioned numerous times across ancient literature. In ancient Mesopotamia, the river was often associated with the gods. The Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians all worshipped a god or goddess of the Euphrates. And many religious texts, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, make references to the river. But the most notable mention of the Euphrates is in the Bible. In these passages, the Euphrates is often used as a symbol of the boundary between the known and the unknown. It is one of the 4 rivers mentioned to flow from the paradise of Eden and has been described as being a source of life. The once fertile land is now facing desertification, as lack of water is ruining farmlands and fishing economies, leading to large-scale crop failures. One of the main causes of this decline is the construction of dams and irrigation systems upstream in Turkey. These structures have reduced the amount of water flowing downstream and have also caused changes in the river's flow patterns. This means the water that should be reaching Iraq and Syria is being blocked by the dams, a situation that has caused major turmoil between these countries. The Iraqi government has accused Turkey of violating the terms of agreement on sharing the Euphrates River water, while Syria has expressed concerns that the reduced flow of water is hurting its agricultural sector. To prevent further crop damage, authorities had no choice but to drain the Mosul Dam reservoir, and what they unveiled next was quite shocking. Underneath the water reservoir was an ancient city that had been buried for 3,400 years. Archaeologists had only a few days to examine the area before the waters returned, but they were able to successfully map what they believed to have been a major city in the Mitanni Empire, built 3,400 years ago. The city had been destroyed by an earthquake around 1350 BCE, but the structures and artifacts that had survived had never been thoroughly explored. The expedition's leader, Hassan Ahmed Kazim, chairman of the Kurdistan Archaeology Organization, says the excavation results showed that the site was an important center in the Mitanni Empire. The team was impressed at how effectively several of the walls had been preserved, which were composed of a sun-dried mud and had been submerged for more than 40 years. The city is believed to be the ancient city of Zakiku, a significant center in the Mitanni Empire. As people have been exploring areas of the Euphrates River that were previously submerged, they have stumbled upon some very chilling discoveries. Caves and caverns with unusual shapes that do not resemble any known man-made structures. Some of these caves have an eerie resemblance to prison bars, suggesting they may have been used to hold someone or something captive. Recently recorded videos have left many struck with fear as they seem to show a truly horrifying sound coming from the river basin. Deep under the river, an almost unearthly growling can be heard, coupled with the sound of chains being dragged as if something is chained up and begging to be let go. Locals believe these sounds to be those of fallen angels that were imprisoned. This has led many to believe that a prophecy is unfolding before their very eyes, as the noises heard appear to be very similar to these written passages in the Bible. Revelations chapter 9 verse 13. The sixth angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the four horns of the golden altar that is before God. It said to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, "Release the four angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates." And the four angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind. What's more frightening is the coinciding drought, which is also referenced in the Bible. Revelations chapter 16, verse 12. The verse reads as follows, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." This verse is part of a larger section of Revelation and describes a series of judgments that will be inflicted upon the earth during the end times. This particular verse is often interpreted as being symbolic of the Euphrates drying up to make way for the kings of the east to cross over, which some interpret as a sign of the end of the world. The biblical prophecies in Revelations chapter 9 and Ezekiel chapter 38 refer to a catastrophic conflict that will commence as the life-sustaining Euphrates River dwindles to a mere trickle. The history of the nations surrounding the river, filled with greed and contention over its resources, only heightens the ominous foretelling that it may not be long before they turn on each other in a destructive war. Many theories are circling as to what all of this could mean, but one thing is certain: the coming drought is sure to bring catastrophe to the surrounding population, whether through starvation and water shortages, or for a far more sinister reason.